Hi everyone. So today I thought I'd talk about a subject that's been kind of I don't want to say bothering me, but it's a subject that has been coming up into my mind a lot lately, and it's something that I've noticed a lot on social media, especially Twitter, on YouTube, and occasionally Facebook, and that is the quality of certain films or film franchises, the direction that they're going with lately. And it's more to do with the responses towards them, really. As I said before in my last one, I'm not exactly reading off a script, I'm just saying whatever's coming into my head. But sorry if you hear noises in the background. So, how do I start this? I've noticed that film criticism nowadays has become mostly negative. I know I'm not the only person to point that out, but it has. It has. Film criticism has become more aiming towards the negative than it is the positives now. And whenever there's a positive element found um, in a under a I don't want to say underachieving, more oh, this is tough. Okay, so we've noticed nowadays that films based on popular properties like Star Wars or the latest Marvel films have not really been that well received, and there's numerous different factors surrounding that, and I just feel like even before the actual film comes out, it's already receiving a huge negative reception, and I just feel like everyone's doing that now. Like, I'm not gonna. I personally feel like I'm not blaming anyone. That's not what I'm saying, but I do feel like. Okay, so I gotta apologise for that brief little stop right there. My phone rang and I had to answer it. I really didn't want that conversation to appear on this, so you can understand why. Anyway, going back to the topic of this video, I just feel like certain online critics have been saying their opinion on certain films or series, and I just feel like most most viewers are just eating that up as like the main opinion and not really thinking about an opinion for themselves. And I can understand some people will have similar opinions to you and you have similar opinions to them. That's fine, but I just feel like we shouldn't really always treat them like the end all answer to the way this film is or series is portrayed. So, for example, as you can see, I've taken 4 examples of pieces of work that I just feel like, while I can understand the negative reception that they received, I just don't feel like it was that deserving, if you understand what I mean. So I suppose I better start off with For Love and Thunder, or 4 4, if you want to call it that. I watched this in the cinemas on opening day, and for my personal opinion, I it's it definitely goes overboard with the humour. Yeah, it definitely goes overboard with that, and it does distract you from what's going on in the film. Uh, Christian Bale is slightly wasted as the villain. He does a good performance when he's on screen, but it's not enough. We wanted more out of him, but Chris Hemsworth was great as always. The storyline involving Jane, as played by Natalie Portman, can be relatable, and it does end with a tragic result. But overall, I, I, yeah, Thor Ragnarok is obviously the more superior, better film, and I didn't feel let down by it. I just felt like it was a lot. It got too silly. It was focusing more on the humour, not enough on the drama. And see, Ragnarok, I feel like that did it. I mean, Ragnarok did also have humour in it, but it wasn't as in your face like the humour in Love and Thunder is. Um, I think. Well, that's. I just thought it was an okay film. Not the best Thor film, even though that's not really much to go on. But I just feel like it was decent for what it was. But what really surprised me was the general reception it received. I was really surprised by how much people hated this film, and I've watched the videos. I can understand why, but yeah, people. I honestly do feel like this film is really overhated for not not really having decent reasons. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I just feel like some of the criticism towards these films, they're not that deserving. So moving on from Love and Thunder is Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, the latest Indiana Jones film. Again, I wouldn't say I was okay. I was slightly let down by this one, and I do personally think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is better. I know, blasphemy, but I think the problem with Dial of Destiny was it was too slow, which I can understand. He's an old man now. He's not going to be as quick on his feet as he once was, but I do feel like that considering the type of character Indiana is, he should have been a lot more active. Um, it just felt very slow paced, and again, the female character Helen, played by Fo, oh, I can't say the actress's name. Sorry. Yeah, She does kind of take the. She does kind of take the spotlight away from Harrison Ford at times. And I wouldn't say she's the most likable character either, but what can you do? But saying that though, again, the fact that it was a box office bomb and the fact that a lot of people really don't like it, I just feel like it kind of shows that we have this. I, I do feel like we just expect certain films to be bad because we feel like that Hollywood are trying to tick boxes with all these franchises, like it has to be female led, or there needs to be a person of color in a major role, or the male character needs to be inferior to the female characters. Personally, I don't really see that all the time. Occasionally, I can see something similar to that, but I just don't feel like it's always as intentional. I just feel like some writers honestly believe this is what audiences want, and they're just trying to give us what they can. And I feel like stuff like see going back to what I'm talking about here with Willow. Now, the television series sequel to Willow is I I was really surprised by the hate it got. I mean, yeah, I do hear people's criticisms about it, but I just feel like some of it is a bit overblown. And the same thing can go with Rise of Skywalker. Was I let down by it? Yeah, of course I was, but I'm not going to treat it like it's the worst thing ever. It's at the end of the day, we still have the previous works of these films and series, and I do get the feeling that at some point in the near future there will be things that will make up for them. And do I think do I think the film industry is trying to tell a message all the time or try to tick boxes? No, no, I don't think it is. I think they're just trying to give certain majority minorities or certain audiences a voice, and they do deserve to be heard. I mean, do I want it shoved down my throat? No, of course I don't. But do I want certain films to break the established characters and canon? No, but I feel like when it comes to films and TV shows and even books, even certain video games, we do have a place to stop. That's the advantage of fiction. We don't have to carry on. We can just stop. And personally, I want to look on the more positive side of things. So I will keep watching these franchises. I am going to still watch all these Star Wars shows because I enjoyed the series. I'm a fan, and I am curious to know what happens next. And I will watch 4 5 if they ever make one. I will watch it. If there's a new Indiana Jones that isn't with Harrison Ford but with someone new, I will watch it. And when there's a new Star Wars film, whether it takes place before the Skywalker saga or after the Skywalker saga, I will watch it because I want to see improvements, and I do want to see where the story goes from here. And before I go, I just want to point out the last video I made. I I don't know. I just feel like it was a weird coincidence to see Wayne Knight in both Basic Instinct and Jurassic Park. And if you watched the video and you compared the two scenes together, I'm just really surprised no one's done that yet. Okay, bye.